Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Lovely and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your puppy's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give here at school is a little tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Lovely's going to come home with all of her training gear, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session with Rich. Now, she is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Lovely, heel. Now, at this point, Lovely has a job to do, and that is to stay even with your left leg when you're walking with her. Not forging ahead or lagging behind, but staying even with your left leg and walking at your pace. So you shouldn't have to be running to keep up with her, and she shouldn't be whipping you out of your shoes. And when you stop your feet, she's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. And you hear Rich talking to her and encouraging her to stay up with him. And also, of course, if she were to get out in front, he would give a little tug back on the training equipment. Nice automatic sit. She's very loving and sweet, and she loves to lean in on you. The next exercise that we're going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. Your long sit-stay when you're practicing at home should be practiced at all your entries and exits, and you can practice right in your living room. Start out at about 30 seconds and work up to 3 minutes. When Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her. She should remain seated until he gets all the way back to heel position. And she's looking for that praise, and he tells her, good girl, and they take off heeling again. And all this is about self-control. We want her to have focus, maturity, and self-control. And that's what all young sporting breeds lack. They lack the ability to focus and pay attention. If Rich changes pace, she should change pace. If he changes direction, she should do the same. She should always be way more focused on you than what's going on around her. And for a Vizsla, that's a big job. She's staying right with him. She's enjoying her training. Rich is going to leave her in another sit-stay. This is a self-control exercise, so the more you can practice these stationary exercises, the better. Put your video on, practice along with it. This time, instead of returning back to her, Rich is going to use her name and call her. Now, we've worked a lot with the come on and off the leash. This is a very important exercise, and she's been taught to come and sit right in front of you, and then she's to get up and return to heel position. You don't want her coming and jumping all over you. When she comes to get the praise that she's looking for, she has to sit. Do not praise her if she's putting her front feet on you. Nice automatic sit. Rich is going to leave her in another stay. And he's going to demonstrate that come on command again. And use your video to practice with. Good job. Our clients that have the most success are the ones that tell me, we practice with our video every day. And you will quickly move her on to intermediate training. Now, the next exercises that we're going to be demonstrating for you are your down commands. The first one is the down from a heel position. So always have your dog seated before you attempt to put them into a down. Use your left open palm straight down toward the ground and the one-word command to down and stay. Now, your long down stay is probably better practiced indoors. It's more comfortable for her. You're going to start out at about 1 minute and you're going to work all the way up to 5 minutes. When Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her just as he did on the sit stay, and everything starts and stops at that heel position. She remains lying there until she gets another command. And one thing that this does too for her is it wears her out mentally because she's having to think. So this is going to replace one of your playtimes, an obedience workout. Now she's anticipating the next command, but Rich is going to use his left open palm again, straight down toward the ground, and the one-word command to down and stay. She's got a sense of humor, this girl. And this time Rich will call her out of that. And she's got her foot on the leash. Bring her right in and have her sit, and then return to heel position. She's like, I'm done with this now. She's wanting to pick things up off the ground. She's bored. Now the next command and the last command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a distance. So you're going to leave her in a sit stay.
Stay.
You're going to turn to face her. You don't have to go too far away. You're going to use your right hand to give the command. That was perfect. And that's your down from a distance. Now we've demonstrated for you all of Lovely's formal on-leash obedience commands. I know that you and Rich have a lot to talk about when she gets home. We want you to get the most that you can out of your lesson. She's great. She is typical Vizsla with her energy and her funny antics, but she's a great girl and we've enjoyed having her. And thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.